All right, this is gonna be a post-game analysis of my therapy session I just had. Now listen, it's gonna be I'm gonna go everywhere because I can't, whatever. But so this is what happened. So initially I came in, I gave kind of like a time, exactly what happened. Because last session, it was really bad. I came in, I couldn't even look at her. I came in super presenting. I was mad, depressed. Like I was just saying fucked up shit. Right? And I told her this, and I was like, yeah. My first thought when I left the office was, I can't say it. I can't. This video will get taken out if I say what I was actually thinking. But essentially, like, if I died, would you care? That was my first thought when I left last session. I told her this, and she says, "Oh, so were you trying to punish me?" I was like, "No, I don't really think it's that." And then I was like, "It's more so like, I don't know. It's this common thing that we've talked about this. Me and her have talked about this before, but it's like people loving me is kind of a scary thing, but because I think my whole life I haven't had unconditional love. Like, when the first year of my life, my mom had cancer, had severe breast cancer, so she wasn't there with me my first year of my life. My dad was taking care of her, so I was essentially like the first year of my life, I was just like almost like the third most important priority, right? Which, I mean, it's no one's fault. I mean, shit happens, right? But what does that teach you? It just, from a young age, like, love to me is conditional and I'm unworthy and all this type of shit. And so, like, I think I go about life like testing people, like, oh, do you actually love me? Let me see how far I can test this. And it's not, and I kept telling my therapist, I'm like, it's not an intentional thing though. Like, I don't consciously come in to situations with some master plan of manipulation. And she was like, no, she just kept saying, like, no, I know, but it's just like one of those defense mechanisms you built up. So it was like, and so she asked me, she said, so did I pass or fail? Because I was trying to, like, after last session, I was really trying to see, I guess I was trying to see, like, I'm really depressed, and it was almost like a lashing out, because it was like, I think, I in my head, I perceived that she wants me to be sober, or Julian wants me to be sober, and okay, now I'm sober, now look at me. This is who comes out of that. Like, look at me, this is what it's created. Are you guys pleased? Like, this is the real Chaboomba. This depressed, nasty gremlin. And I think I'm like, and so she asked me, she's like, did I pass or fail in terms of like your test to see if I care about you? And I was like, I was like, no, you failed. She's like, oh, well, how so? I was like, and then I realized, I was like, because I don't think nobody can pass, because I rigged the game. I set it up that no matter what someone does, like, I'm just gonna always confirmation bias or self-fulfilling prophecy that this person only loves me conditionally. And I was like, I do. And she was like, yeah, I guarantee there's a pattern you see throughout your whole life, right? Like in all your relationships. And I was like, yeah. I was like, but I don't mean to do it. Sorry, I'm taking my leash off my dog. I was like, I don't mean to do it. Like, for Julian, I do it. Because Julian asks me all the time, so how can I best be here for you? And I always say, I don't know. Because a lot of times, hold on. Sorry, I got a call. But yeah, it's like, Julian asks me, like, what can I do? And I always say, I don't know. Because there is nothing anyone can do to show me that they love me enough. Because I'm always going to believe that you don't. Like, I'm setting up the game to verify whether or not you truly see me and you truly love me, but I set up in a way where you can never win. And so that was kind of the first thing that we talked about, right? And it's really sad, whatever. And then we kept talking, and she said, okay, well, like, essentially, like, are you courageous? Like, oh, so I told her, I was like, yeah, like, I talked about this in a couple of videos ago, that this whole time I thought sobriety was the end goal, was the end of the journey. Getting sober was the end of the journey. And I was telling her this, and I was like, no, I realized that it's the beginning of the journey, but I don't know what to do afterwards. Like, what is the next step? Okay, I'm sober now. Now what? What does the actual journey look like? Like, what is the actual, the work I need to do? And she was just essentially like, yeah, like all the underlying work, the reason that you were being an addict in the first place. Like, and I was like, oh yeah, my self-worth issues. Well, of course my self-worth issues, right? And, I even test, hold on, let me go back to the testing thing real quick. I don't mean to do this, but even like someone like Jamil or my friend Daniel, I won't talk to these people sometimes for months. And it's like, I put myself in isolation a lot. And it's the exact same concept of when I was a child and I would run away and then watch from afar to see if people would look for me, just to see if they give a fuck enough. But anyways, and so she told me, yeah, it's the self-worth stuff. And so she's like, you know, because we were talking about this deep feeling that at least a part of me feels like they are unlovable. Stop, you're not running this time. A part of me feels very, like, deeply unlovable. And so she's like, are you courageous enough to change? Especially those cognitions that you have. Are you courageous enough to face that? And you know, because I've built up all these smoke and mirrors, all these defense mechanisms for years, and then all she's asking essentially is like, well, are you willing to change how you see the world? Like, are you willing to change how you see yourself? Are you courageous enough? Like, what she's like, what do you risk by thinking that you are lovable? Like, what is it that you risk? And I couldn't answer until I realized I risked the destruction of all of these defense mechanisms, this smoke and mirrors, the facade, by truly believing that I'm lovable and all the parts of me are lovable, and that I can be loved. I have to release all of these things that I built up to protect me. And she's like, okay, so let's name some defense mechanisms that you use. I was like, okay, let me think. Stonewalling, which for those of you who don't know is like, you know, essentially just shutting down in an argument, like just walking away, like inability to speak, right? Isolation, grandiose thinking, let's see what else, addiction. And I was naming all these things, like, so I kept naming all the other defense. Oh, anger, these games, these manipulative games that I'm not intentionally playing, but that I am playing to see if people love me, and all this stuff, right? And then I was like, am I missing something? She's like, I can name a few. And she's like, but this one right here, she named a couple. And then she's like, well, this one right here, I think is gonna surprise you, and it may be hard to hear. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, I think one of your most harmful defense mechanisms is your overindulgence in the belief that you were special. Bro, it cooked me. It cooked me, bro, because I know she's right. It cooked me. I literally did a full stretch, put my hands in my face. I had to put my hands in my face because I know what she means, and I immediately got defensive. But I knew what she means. Because she's like, no, I'm not saying you're not a special person. You're clearly like a special person, and you could, but when it's I overindulge in that to the point where I can't do spiritual work. I can't do work on myself because I'm unable to remove the facade of the specialty of like being special. And she gave me an example. She's like, for example, when you got, you know, in terms of your sobriety, you were kind of like, oh, I just have to stop doing the thing and I'll be fine. Like, I'm just gonna stop. And I was like, yeah, but I did. She's like, yeah, but you've done this many times. Like, and she's like, I've told you time and time again, there's a difference between true sobriety and abstinence. He's like, you know, because she always talks about being like what does she call him? A sober drunk? I think that's the word what does she call him? A dry drunk. Like someone that just stopped drinking on and you could see this a lot. And the way people talk about addiction, they're like, oh, I just stopped. And they may have stopped, and they may not do it for years. And maybe they may never do it again. But they never, like, they just replaced it with something else, whether that's like control issues, whether that's OCD, whether that's whatever it is, they've replaced it. And so what she means by this is like, like, you can't just, you have to fix the underlying issues. You know, I can be abstinent, I can just not do the thing forever, but that doesn't actually mean I'm doing the work to fix the self-worth issues, to fix all the things that were the reason in which I was an addict, right? And it was just interesting. I was like, but I know that. So, but I think I'm so, when she meant by the special thing is like, I think I'm so special that like like cognitive psychology doesn't apply to me, that neuroscience doesn't apply to me, that neurology doesn't apply to me, that like that, oh, I can just stop and I'm fine. Like I don't have to do any of that type of stuff. And she's like saying that that's what's hurtful to my growth. That's like that is a defense mechanism of it. What is this, bro? This is a bag of shit. Come here. Come here. Come here. And anyways, and I was thinking about more of that because Julianne, she talks about that to me too. Like I stopped listening when Julianne really proposes things that would truly help me. And in terms of my mental health, in terms of stuff, anything. Like stuff that would really help me, I turn it off because I'm like, I don't need any of that shit. Like, who are you talking to? I don't need any of that shit. And that's it. That's the special. That's me being special, right? It's not about like, do I feel like I'm a special person that can have a positive impact on the world? Like, I feel like I am that person. But it's the overindulgence of it to the point where I can't even look at myself with honest eyes and be like, okay, like, and also the special thing also infringes me from putting in a lot of work into things because I'm like, oh, I'm so special, things come naturally to me. But that's not even true, bro. A lot of things don't come naturally to me, and I have to really put in work. But I like pretend I don't, you know. So it was interesting that she said that. And so come on. So anyways, really her homework for me was she sorry, to continue on. You know, after she said that, and I was like, she's like, yeah, but people can't ever get to know you if you're always playing this smoke and mirrors game. If you always have these things, including the grandiose thinking, including the special, like being special and all that stuff, no one's gonna get to know you. And then I reverted. In that moment, I went back to defense. I was like, yeah, but that's what I want. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be known. And she's like, yeah, but in the beginning of the session, you told me that your goals in life and the person that you want to be is this person that spreads light, this person that's in the spotlight, this person that like is a positive impact in the world, this person that like, you know, is emotionally intelligent, this person that could be the rock for Julianne, this person that can, you know, go out into the world and make positive change and really affect people. So how can these two, you're saying contradicting shit now. And I was like, you got me, bruh. Just then I was like, you got me. Because I do want to be seen. And that's the most fucked up shit of this whole thing. Come on. Is that I do want to be seen. And me not wanting to be seen is like some sort of, is all these things almost wrapped up. This idea of like, oh, I want to be this mysterious guy. Like, and I don't want anyone to know me. I mean, part of that is like the special thing. The other part of that is like fear of being loved. And it's like, and also fear of responsibility. It's like all these things. So I'm gonna go like I want nobody to know me, and like the fear of being seen, right? So it was interesting. And so yeah, my homework essentially is she laid out the work for me. Like it's not, I can't say I don't know what to do now that I'm so like, what is the actual work that needs to be done? Oh, I know the work. It's to rewire my brain and my spirit by loving myself enough that I'm going to consciously say, okay, no more. Like thank you defense mechanisms for bringing me this far, and I know you guys were trying to protect me, but I gotta go. It's time for me to be a new man. That's my homework. Is essentially her asking. I have wait. Let me read the prompt. Hold on. Let me read the prompt. Hold on. I'll tell you what the prompt is. Are you willing to surrender your defense strategies to begin to believe that you are a lovable person? And all these strategies, all those events, am I willing to let those go and to surrender? That is my homework. Is asking myself that question and sitting on that and meditating on that. Truly asking myself that. So I got work to do, man. Because I mean, to be the person I want, I'm on the edge of change, right? Like it's up to me to say, okay, I see what I have to do now. It's really scary, bro, because it's like, I told her, I was like, you know, my fear of success, I think, and fear of failure, I mean, they're rooted in the same thing, but really my fear of success is rooted in like, okay, like if I got everything I wanted and everything turned out better than expected, then what? Like, would I become a bad person? Would I, like, what would I do with it, you know? It's like when, It's like in The Dark Knight Rises, when Heath Ledger, when the Joker is telling Batman, like, oh, I don't know what I would do if I got it. When he was talking about, like, he's like a dog chasing a bone, or like a dog chasing a car. Like, I don't know if I forget what the exact thing was, but it's like, he wouldn't know what to do when he got it. And that's why I feel like with success, it's like, I've been putting it off because I'm scared that I'm not the person that will be able to hold on to it. And also, it was more actually deeper. We found out that I also fear success because I will no longer be able to absolve myself of responsibility. I will no longer be able to go into because being a successful person demands that the type of success that I want demands that I let go of all these defense mechanisms, right? And that's what scares me is in order to be successful in me receiving success, that means that no more smoke and mirrors. Nothing. I have to, there will be responsibility, the responsibility of being honest with myself and all this type of stuff. Like, I can no longer pity myself. I can, you know, and it's like, I can no longer play these games of like, who cares about me and all this shit. Like, cause that's not, you know, like I would have to release all this. And it's almost like it's like when Naruto hugged himself inside of him, like when he hugged his demon self, like in the water, and his demon wanted to fight him, and then he just hugged him. It's that. It's saying, I see your pain, and I see why you were created, but now it's time to move on. I'm now ready to move on and heal, and I understand that. It's a beautiful thing. It's scary, but am I willing to surrender all my defense mechanisms and look at myself in the mirror and say, you are lovable? Woo! Gives me chills just thinking about it. But guys, girls, gays, queer, MZs, or anyone. Have a blessed rest of your Wednesday. I'll catch you guys on a beautiful Tuesday. It's hot out here. Oh, I'm gonna get back in the gym now. I'm gonna get jacked. But all right, toodaloo.